What's up, Scyushi Squad? Today we are going to be taking a look at my setup. So I already had a video like this for 2019 and I figured that I would give an update for 2020. I'm still in the process of changing some of my things, but for the most part this is my new setup and it is very, very different from what I had in 2019 because, well, most of all because I ended up changing my desk. So I'll kind of go through everything, all of my gear, all my equipment and stuff like that. This was actually my old desk, so this was normally right here and had my computer and everything. And I mean, generally speaking, you guys have probably noticed my setup looks a lot more sleek. Like it just generally looks a lot better. I'm a lot more organized. Like I have all my consoles and stuff in my old desk because this desk in general was actually custom built for multiple computers originally from my dad, and then like this part normally extended out a lot and then we cut it in half and it just did. So anyways, we're gonna start all the way back here and then kind of move in further and further into the rest of the gear. So starting right here, this is the Elgato green screen. I actually have a video already talking about my old green screen, which was like 20 bucks versus this one, which is a little bit more expensive. But this thing, basically, it looks like this when you have it in storage, because otherwise you just pop open the top. This extends out at whatever height you want, and instant green screen. I absolutely love the portability of this thing. The reason why I got a second one is because when I'm doing VR stuff, I needed this screen to be a little bit wider. Over there's Mariko's setup. But the thing is also, because I'm recording in the living room, a lot of times the light will cascade through the blinds. So often I'll actually put my second green screen behind this one to give it kind of a thicker backdrop. And that seems to take care of a lot of issues with the sun blaring through the green screen. This chair doesn't really have a headrest, which kind of sucks. Unfortunately, fortunately, there is third-party headrest, but unfortunately not for this chair. So this is my baby. This is the Herman Miller Air Mark II or some crap. I don't know, but it's a very expensive chair, but a very, very good investment. I've been using this thing for years and years and years. And because I'm doing all my work here at, behind my computer, it's made a huge, huge difference. This is a floor pad grab the edge. In retrospect, I would have rather not gotten a black one because this shows the dog hair like crazy. But generally speaking, I really like this just because I have a wood flooring, as you can see. And the chair would normally roll around a lot. So this takes care of that. It's really, really handy. It does shift around a lot, even though like it's not supposed to. So when I'm rolling around, like I have to adjust the placement of it every so often, but it's not really that big of a deal. So over here, this is kind of my more, I guess my more personal setup. I never really used this in videos and junk. But this is a TV that I just bought off a neighbor. Not really like, it was a pretty good deal too. That's why I have it. And we kind of just use this on the couch when we're doing all of our gaming and watching movies and junk like that. I ended up putting some of the vinyls there and junk like that. My clock is there now rather than being on my desk because I wanted the desk space. But unfortunately now it's not plugged into my backup generator because we lose power here a lot, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then right beside me, I have, this is all my merch. So if I got to throw something on for a video, it's all right there. Super duper easy. I keep all the boxes of all my Dragon Ball figures that I ended up getting from Japan, which you can see here. They are beautiful. I'll probably have another video at some point in the future. I mean, I don't know how interested you guys are in seeing it, but I'll probably do a video just specifically showing all these off because I just think they're personally really cool. This you'll have to ignore. This is my old headphones, so I'm in the process of putting these away, putting them in storage. That's why they're in a Ziploc bag. They are the, what are they called? Logitech G930s, I think. They suck, but they have some advantages over my new headset. So my new headset is right here. Haha, see, and I got notes and junk like that, but this is, it's really, really handy that I got to use my old desk for more personal stuff, but this is my new headphones. These were expensive. They were hella expensive. They're awesome. I love them, but the Bluetooth sucks. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a Bluetooth dongle, so I had to buy that third party. And my computer itself doesn't support Bluetooth natively anymore just because I upgraded some of my parts. And ultimately, this has like a noticeable delay when I'm using them wireless versus the Logitech ones with no delay. So these I could use wireless, and unfortunately these superior headphones that were way more expensive, I cannot. I can only use these wired, which really, really sucks. It's very, very distracting. I don't know what's going to happen whenever I end up finally recording another VR game. Is I'll probably have to use my Logitech headphones, so that kind of really put a damper in the fact that these were so expensive. And I mean, headphones you couldn't return in the first place, let alone with all the virus crap going on. It's really disappointing. And I've looked online to see if there was a solution, but nope. You might have noticed this atrocity right here. So this is, funny enough, this is the desk lamp that I used when I was first starting out. I literally just throw a piece of paper on it so that it's not as blinding to me. The funny thing is that this desk lamp was probably like, what, 10, 20 bucks, and it's lasted years. And then these much, much more expensive light stands, including the light bulbs that I have, these keep breaking on me. More specifically, the function of all of this still works, but the button doesn't, so I can't turn this on anymore. Every single one of these that I ordered, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, every single one of the switches specifically have broken. Even the one that's behind my desk, the switch is broken, but I have it plugged into my power bar, so I just turn that power bar on and off as much as I want to manage that light, and I don't touch the switch at all because I don't want things to mess up and me to lose that. So under here, I've got all my consoles. My wiring looks like a mess, but this is a lot better than it was before. Over there, I have my splitter for all of my consoles go into one thing that goes into my computer, and thus I don't have to constantly unplug and replug in all the console crap over and over again. Because I'm the type of person, I'm all about efficiency. I'm all about cutting down the processing time of my work and stuff. So just as an example, you know, that was already a good example for console stuff, but I have it so in a lot of my videos, my face cam is actually hard written into the video, which what I mean by that is I don't record my face cam separately and edit it in after. It's recorded into the video, which does mean that for certain videos, you know, if I zoom in on my face, it's not like super duper high quality or anything like that. But the trade-off is that it's a lot easier to edit. My workflow has been cut down exponentially, and I'm just using that as an example because there's lots of little things that I've kind of worked on over the years. In this little cupboard or whatever, I have my valve index, which is beautiful. In here I have like controllers and charging wires and junk that I need to access, you know, very, very often. Underneath here I got my PlayStation controller pretty much always charging because I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, and now we can move on to my new standing desk. So this is actually a standing desk. It can adjust, and the thing that's so cool about this is that these standing desks normally are very, very expensive. I can adjust it manually. And I like always checking my wires. I'm paranoid that one of the wires would get caught on something as I'm adjusting this. But you can actually preset some stuff. So I have just a standing and sitting position. Beautiful, beautiful. And it gives me a lot more room to go under here and mess with my other computer stuff and change all my wiring and everything. And I more recently finally went back here and adjusted a lot of my wiring to be in this one column right here. Of course, all these ones that are separate, I just couldn't put into the main column because otherwise they would catch on stuff. This is my kind of like a backup generator. So we have power outs here very regularly. And when that happens, this kicks in and it gives me plenty of time to either switch the breaker or go on to my computer settings and whatever I'm doing. Like if I'm live streaming, I have everything important plugged into this so that I have enough time to cancel the live stream or finish recording or whatever, just so that I don't have my computer just die on me and corrupt everything. And these are all backup hard drives. I have a very, well, I was gonna say I have a bad habit, but it's not really a bad habit. It's just something that I've been doing for years where I back up all of my videos. Personally, I would like it if I could one day not do that, because otherwise, you know, I don't like the idea of spending so much money on backup hard drives and stuff like that. And it's not like YouTube's gonna just randomly delete my videos, but I have just this paranoia thought in the back of my head of don't delete them. So the desk itself didn't actually come with a keyboard drawer desk thing, whatever you call this. So I actually bought this separately. It's extremely awesome because this is just screwed onto the desk, which means that I can take this anywhere if I have to ever switch my desk, whatever. But the nice thing about it is it's very smooth and it can adjust to wherever I want. I just ordered it on Amazon. This is just a big old mouse pad that I got from my buddy Captain Red when he visited a couple years back. I always use this mouse. I've constantly had these die on me. It's a Logitech G602 gaming mouse. Logitech kind of sucks, but they're kind of good at the same time. Like, I like their stuff, but it's very unreliable at times. Like, that's why I hate this headset and moved on to a better headset, because the wiring in these is really, really badly designed, period. I like ergonomic things for comfortability. That's why I keep buying this mouse, because even though it dies, there's no other mouse that I've had that's this comfortable. And I mean, I don't care about 50 buttons on a mouse. Like, I don't use 2,000 buttons or anything like that, so I don't really care. I had originally a Microsoft like 2000 something keyboard that lasted me for like 15 years or something, but it doesn't matter because those keyboards are discontinued anyway. So I just bought this generic Razer one. I most of all like the fact that it's all lit up, because I just like, now I can actually type in the dark. Because often I'll be actually doing stuff in the middle of the night and try to turn off the lights to keep the heat down, or just because the lights are like bothering me or whatever. Here's my mic arm. It's just a standard Rode one. Unfortunately, it creaks when I move it, but I was ordering a newer mic arm, and then I just thought, like, why waste the money? This thing already works fine. This is pretty much the best mic that you could already have for YouTube, which is the Shure SM7B. I think that's what it's called, but legit, you don't need a better mic than this. Like, this one is actually used by professional radio stations and junk like that. Any other YouTuber that has like a more expensive microphone than this, honestly speaking, just has a lot of money and doesn't really have that much experience. Like, I have a lot of experience with microphones and junk like that because I was a musician once upon a time, long before I did all this YouTube stuff. And so I know the reason that those really, really expensive microphones exist, and it's for music. Like recording a choir or something like that. It's not for like sitting in front of your computer where it's all getting condensed down anyways. This expensive monster right here is the LA610 Mark II. This is a preamp. So I have my mic going into this, and I have all of my settings fine-tuned so that basically what you hear in the videos is nothing is edited at all. I have all my settings going into this, that then goes into my computer. And that, again, is so that I don't have to bother editing my voice or anything like that. This is my computer. I'll put my stats in the description. I should have mentioned as well, it looks ugly. Yeah, I don't care about my computer looking good, but I wish I had a better case than this, because this one can get noisy sometimes. But noise is a big, big factor for me, you know, just cutting out all of the background noise and junk like that. So yeah, these are just generic Walmart speakers, because I don't care about having really, really good sound, because I already have good headphones now. The Elgato Stream Deck. Basically, you set up hotkeys that you can use for the computer. It's really, really handy, really, really nice. Most of all because I set up my recording software, and when I'm recording, this button will actually change color, so I can always look at this to know whether I'm recording or not. Because you wouldn't believe how many times like you'll be recording and then you just don't notice that you didn't actually start recording and stuff. Like, I've lost so many videos that way, where I'll do like a whole 10-minute video, and then I look and it's like, well, I'm an idiot. I didn't actually press record, or the computer had an error or whatever, you know. But it's really, really handy. So I can just press this button, and then that opens OBS. That's my animated Ghost of Tsushima desktop, by the way, which I'm using a, the heck is that program called? It's a thing on Steam called Wallpaper Engine. Yeah, anyways. So this is just OBS. I pretty much just have all of my setup in here. I won't really get into too much detail about any of this stuff. You can actually see my mic is lighting up. But just to mention that OBS is really, really handy because you can actually use it to record all multiple audio files. So basically what I do is I have, this is my 4K 60 Pro, so that's for console gaming. I have two Elgato capture cards, one for my face cam that goes into the computer and a separate one for the console that goes into the computer. That might seem excessive, but the reason for this is because previously, if I recorded something on a console, I had to record my face cam separately and then edit it in after. Now I can just record it all at once, no problem, right? Easy peasy. But anyways, I basically have all my audio channels recorded into separate channels. Basically, all of the audio is fine. I put the file in and you can see everything, but if for whatever reason the game volume is too loud, or one of my friends in Discord, their audio is too loud, because I have these all recorded into separate tracks, it means that in editing, I can pull that audio out and then I can adjust the volume of it to end up going with the rest of the video, rather than having to do all of the audio leveling just right then and there. So just for the sake of convenience. What else? Oh yeah, my camera. So this thing, I put this piece of paper on it because this camera is kind of dumb. The back screen will stay on indefinitely while I'm recording unless I have this over it, because it's like tricking the camera into thinking that someone's looking through the eye hole, and then it turns off the screen. Weird. But this is the Sony A7R. I think this is the Mark II. I'm not exactly sure. And then I have a Zeiss lens, whatever. That's the important thing. No reason to end up actually upgrading my computer or my face cam or anything like that. And then I just have it plugged into an HDMI. Ignore that. It says PS4. That's just, I had all my wires labeled properly and then I rearranged everything and it just kind of messed everything up. So I think that might be it. Yeah. So otherwise, there's these bad boys are tied to my valve index. These up here is just because we have really, really low ceilings. So the sound literally reverbs back off of the ceiling. And then otherwise you might have noticed this tarp right here. So that is literally a paint tarp. I'd recommend any of you that are getting into YouTube stuff and are having issues with sound reflecting all over your room and stuff like that, paint tarps are a very, very cheap alternative to this foam. Because you can literally just hang up the paint tarps and that'll absorb all of the sound, rather than putting like mattresses on the floors and walls and junk like that, or doing something super duper expensive like this. I mean, it looks ugly as fuck, but I mean, it gets the job done. So I'm just editing the video now and I realized that I didn't mention my computer monitors. So this is actually a 4K Asus monitor, which I don't actually use in 4K because this is a 2K monitor, even though it clearly is physically bigger. I love this thing. This is a curved monitor and it's Samsung, and my God, is it nice. Like I love curved monitors, you guys. They're just so clean, you know, like I don't know, I absolutely love it. This up here is a little light. So the point of this light, I have a video that covered it because they ended up sending me it for a review copy, and I actually really like this thing because basically it's designed to go on your monitor so that it doesn't cascade any light onto the screen. It just goes onto the desk. Obviously it doesn't work that great because this is a curved monitor. And then the other thing to mention is if I come back here, things are a little bit dusty, but you can see it's all a lot more organized and clean. And I actually have these monitor arms, or whatever you want to call them, where I just have them very specifically adjusted for my desk and everything. And then so this, I'm recording this clip like a couple days after. Here's here I finally ended up getting my desk clamp arm thing for my camera, which looks a lot more sleek. I like that a lot. So thank you so much for watching. One last thing I do want to mention is if you are actually considering starting out with YouTube, keep in mind, none of this stuff matters, okay? All of this is just a very, very nice perk and privilege of the fact that I can do YouTube full-time for a living. The technology doesn't matter. All that matters is just getting your personality out there. You don't even have to necessarily start with like face cam, but even then you could just have like some piece of crap 30 FPS face cam if you even want to. You can always do gameplay as well. But OBS is the recording software I use. It's absolutely free, easy to end up just picking up and recording right away. And then you just do with what you got, okay? Again, for me, all of this is just a fortunate side effect. That's what I consider it, because you know, obviously this is my job, so I want to step it up and make things easier for me on my end and also bring up the fidelity of the videos and stuff like that. But all that stuff comes after. I mean, there's lots of big time YouTubers that don't even have good stuff like this. Not to say that my stuff is like super duper good or anything, but I'm just trying to make a point, guys, that you know, if you're watching like other channels and stuff, or you're seeing all this and you think like, oh, why should I even bother? It's like, you can't really have that mentality around it. And so I just want to be clear about that, because you'd be surprised. Sometimes people think that way, and that is not the case. I'm rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Smash like, sub for more, and thank all of you so much for tuning into the videos and stuff, because this is literally thanks to you. And I am so blessed and so privileged and so happy to be able to have such an epic gaming setup that I just, you know, I just love you guys. So thank you for watching, and thanks for all the views. Stay epic. Bye, guys.